The vision came from my teenage times to melt it, to fuse this both wonderful way of music, the arrangements, the production, the lyrical content of British prog rock, so, this avant-garde of rock, and this intellectuality, and on the other hand side, this soloistical virtuosity of the American fusion, and just to fuse, to blend, to melt together, the musical melting pot. And because I was born in behind the Iron Curtain, the British prog rock and the American fusion jazz was meaning for us freedom. And that was the soundtrack of freedom. And that's why it's so important also today to create the music with the message of humanity, of freedom, of peace. And the black swan on the cover, representing these trying times, these great challenges, and what we are trying to do when the black swan just were touching down with all this multiplied crisis, then we are trying to paint it white again. When the times are rough and trying years are coming up and the days and nights are challenging, what is courage? And how can we stand up for the right things in life? Especially now even war is around. And so Devil's Encyclopedia is actually describing with this feeling. And yes, music is transporting very often messages, and that's our music always been in the last 30 years. And Devil's Encyclopedia is pretty much representing what we feel about life today.
There's some sensational stuff on this collection. Great playing, yeah. I'm happy.
Now the wanderer's just gone with the swan to follow the sun. Feels like his time has come. Now the wanderer's just gone with the spice of someone in his backpack. Will he ever come back?
It's pretty awful actually. How are you doing, Leslie?
After decades of fears, now the wanderer's just gone with a swan to follow the sun. Looks like his time's come.
So, the analog recording is starting with a great microphone. You take one of these classics like the Tube. It's pretty much good for everything. Another classic is the C414 by AKG. That is also a very universal microphone. And here we go, the classic by Neumann, the U87. And so, a great room, great instrument, the right microphone, and goes just into this. You see, the 33, the channel 33, connected, and we go into the studio, and this is just this signal arrives analog way to the patch bay. We just said, okay, channel 33, the microphone goes to channel 33. So the incoming signal of the microphone goes directly analog to 33. And you see the signal comes, this is pure analog, so there is no digital toys in between. It's just, you know, what you call it analog. So the instrument, the room, the microphone, the true signal comes on a patch bay. I was patching it to the channel 33, and here it is. This is the famous A800 MK3, this best analog machine of the world. You put up the tape, you know exactly that you will get the absolutely utmost best sound ever out of this machine. Now the tape machine runs. The whole music on 24 track is on this tape. So you see, this is 24 track. It's a limitation, but it's a very, very creative limitation with a great sound. The next step, when the signal comes back from the 2-inch 24 track machine, I'm mixing down this to the master machine. There's a 1/2 inch and 15 IPS non-Dolby. It's the best audio result what you ever could imagine. And you see all the wonderful gears, this tube gears, and even the classic Fairchild, the original Fairchild. And you can see all this wonderful, iconic, legendary studio gears. But you know, this is rock history and technique. So, but everything is very, very well maintained. So it just works. It sounds fantastic.